the kind of statements that we have heard here, the encouragement are so marvelous. What I myself have learned today is that it is very important that civil society in our country becomes very vibrant. If we have vibrant civil society, coupled with the good work of the fourth estate, the country will go places. And that is the bottom line of democracy that we are talking about. We have been told here today that we need a better constitutionalism and we need very strong institutions, public institutions to work. If the institutions work, the police do their work, all of them work without looking behind their shoulders, democracy is going to work. And it will work when civil society also supports and take charge. To be honest with you, in my view, I think civil society must set the agenda as the professor here has said. If you set the agenda, the politicians will follow. But if we leave it for them to set the agenda, then there's going to be trouble somewhere. And therefore, I'll urge you as a civil society to make sure that your work is known and published. Honestly, Ghana is doing what must be done, but I think it must do more. Publicity of your activities, trying to rope in more people. I know there are so many dormant people. Some are here today, some are in the house, but you must make sure you get them in, on board. You try to get more people through adverts and so many things, so many ways. And then sponsor a lot of programs. If it's going to be annual, only on Democracy Day, then work cannot be done. But if you are able to do a lot more programs to let people know the agenda, and it's clear and clean, and it's apolitical, that is the most important thing. You make sure you are very objective in your criticisms in whatever you do. Today, you've invited people from all walks of life here. Everybody is speaking their mind. That is it. People may like it or not, but then people are speaking the truth, and that is the truth. Because we are all in this together. If our democracy fails, if our countries and institutions fail, we are the losers. I'll give you one example. In this Guinea one, for sure, it came before us at the ECOWAS Court of Justice. We give judgments, the countries decide to comply or not. These are other things that society may have to look at. Judgments are very good and strong judgments by, especially the regional courts, are not respected by the countries because they comply at will. And that is a very bad one. Senegal, specifically, they have a law in their electoral laws for a party or a person to contest election. Looking through their laws, a person needs about a quarter of the country to endorse him as a presidential candidate. And it was put in place by the current government. The idea is so clear to make sure they knock out all prospective people who can contest election. They came before us and we said it's against. The ECOWAS itself has very fine and fantastic laws and protocols. There's one from good governance and democracy. So for a country to sign onto an international law means that you obviously have to whittle down their local laws, which are inimical to the international law they've signed onto. So we said, no, this is not possible. It means you are trying to limit the people in a democracy, which is not possible. We gave our judgments and the whole country was bashing all over the place in all the French newspapers against the ECOWAS court for doing that because it has been their norm for a very long time. But then this portends trouble, future trouble. It's possible the next election, these things may come out. So these are the little things that on our own we should be able to boldly do, say that whether the people like it or not, we've done it, we've done our work, and therefore posterity is there to judge and judge all of us fairly. And therefore I'll urge you here today and now that we should try to propagate the democracy story, the good governance, the strong institutions and constitutionalism particularly, so that we push and make sure that each institution does its own work and work very well. We are here to find a serious private members bill go through in Parliament. These are things that may be good to foster constitutional amendments in areas which we think are very bad for us, so that we all consolidate our constitution and progress. Because we know that adventurism is not good for us. We have tasted it several times before. Most of our colleagues, my senior Pratier, they suffered so much under it, and we think it's so distasteful, we do not want that one to happen. But then we may also have to let those who are in governance sit on their toes. We put them on their toes, say that they do the right thing, which may not invite that kind of activity in our fold. And therefore, on this note, I think we have spent much of our time, but very ready here, which I attest to. And I'll urge all of us to try and propagate the story, try and be each other's keeper, to try and come together the more so that we lead a common front against the common enemy, that is poverty. So many of them, poverty and all that, and then the SDGs, all the goals, we should strive to achieve them. And if we do, it's for the benefit of our society and mankind and ourselves. So I thank you very much for your presence here and for your contributions towards today's activity. God bless us all. God bless them. Thank you.